spreading the word of all the good news of all the things that she is working on and working towards. And so I will let her tell her story about herself just a little bit so you can know who my baby is.
Hey guys, so I'm Jess Marie. I don't know exactly what you want me to tell them.
Tell them about you.
What?
Who are you? What do you do?
I'm a nice lady. Yeah, so I am currently actually taking my speaking career a lot more seriously now. So I am a professional speaker as well as a resilience and action coach. I have been just resistant on doing some things, and I'm in a season where I'm being forced to do it. So this topic we're talking about today is like right on time to push through, to push through. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's it for me right now.
So y'all, I know I'm cheesing it is, but y'all don't understand. So we have had a lot of sessions, this beautiful lady and I, but they wasn't on the radio. So I'm very excited to have her on here because I just feel like the more people we reach, the better chance, they'll have to see what she have to share because at the end of the day, we all have to find out who we need to get the information from. And this young lady most definitely is a resource, very resourceful. She knows so many people in so many areas and so many walks of life. And so, what better person to come and tell a push through story? And y'all, this is the end of season 5. Do you hear me? And I'm excited in a way, and then I'm a little sad in a way because I've really been enjoying talking about pushing through because it speaks to me personally, and I know it speaks to so many people. And so for our finale, we were discussing pushing through as we break through. Ooh. Because this has been a season of pushing through, and in this season we are breaking through after we push through. And so, if you don't mind this, if you could just tell them just a story, or it can be something quick. It don't matter, like we on here. We got an hour for power. So just let the people know an experience you had where you feel like you pushed through and you saw your breakthrough at the end.
So actually, I am in a season this week that just like really intensified. I've been on my job for 13 years. I've been a mail carrier for 13 years. But in the meantime, I have done many things. I've done radio. I've done, a lot of what I wanted to do, real estate, esthetician, just all the things, right? And I recently graduated from University of Houston downtown in December. Woo-hoo! And you silly, thank you. And in the midst of that, I actually, I've taken my spiritual journey, my walk with God really, really serious. And in the midst of that, I got revelation that I've been glorifying myself in everything I do. Come on. Right. And it wasn't necessarily done in vain purposely, but because of where I come from, not coming from a household, 2-parent household, not even coming from a 1-parent household. I was raised by my grandmother. I had to prove myself to everybody else, right? I was pregnant in my senior year. I didn't make it to the military as I planned. However, I still came out to be the first person in my family to graduate high school. Right. But my entire life, I was trying to prove something to everybody else. Oh, she's a teen mom, whatever the case may be. Right. Thinking I was proving things to everybody else when really I was trying to, I don't know, like chase this high that I never could get because as many degrees and certifications and licenses and everything that I was obtaining, I still was not fulfilled, right? Yes. And so in December, like I said, been taking my spiritual walk very serious within the past 2.5 years, 3 years. And the Lord told me, you taking my glory. Come on. And so the day I graduated, I literally, after my name was called, I just left. Me and my family just left. And so people are like, wait, that's a big accomplishment. You should have really, accepted that. And it wasn't that I didn't accept it. That really just hit me in my spirit. Like, what am I chasing? What am I running after? Who am I trying to prove anything to? And many of us live a life where we're trying to prove something to an ex. So we're trying to prove something to other people that I am that person. And the Lord said, you who I say you are. So who are you trying to prove it to? So anyways, that was really big for me. And in this season, I'm kind of being forced to make a decision to possibly leave my job because they're making a lot of changes. But I believe that the Lord makes us uncomfortable when we're supposed to be doing, moving in our purpose, and we're not doing that. When we're not glorifying the Lord, when we're not serving Him are serving people, because we're actually here to serve others, to glorify God. When we're not doing that, when we're just content with living a life of go to work, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm this, just constant, repetitive, day after day, you're doing the same thing in and out, and you're just not living a fulfilled life. A successful life is actually glorifying the Lord and serving others, and that I'm not doing at this moment. So now it's time. The Lord is shaking the table. He's like, push through. You done had all these degrees, these certifications. You done paid for mentors. You done paid for coaching, training, all the things.
Yeah.
What are you doing with it? Like, what one more degree do you need? You don't need, because first and foremost, I'll say this. We've been equipped with everything that we've been called to do. We've been equipped with everything that we've been, called to do. But for whatever reason, whether it's comparison, whether the way that we're raised, we start feeling less than or not capable. But the Lord called you. The Lord called you for this thing, whatever that thing is. But we're not fully walking in it because we feel like, I got to get one more degree. I need to pay one more mentor. I need to do one more thing. And my pocketbook say, if you pay one more person, baby, you listen. Don't pay one. The Lord said, and my pocketbook said, don't pay one more person. You hear me? But so I am in a season of pushing through and stepping out on faith and really taking the things that the Lord has spoken to me years ago, taking those things serious, because so many of us are hindered just by ourselves. We're hindered by ourselves, not by others.
Look, that is deep. And it's crazy you said something about being successful is when you're living in your purpose, basically, and serving the Lord. And so the word of the day today for Just Talks was success.
Come on now. Come on.
And so, and I explained, what success was. It just basically moving through and reaching the goal.
Oh, you made the video already?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I didn't see it yet. Come on, Lord. Won't he line it up? Line it up. Okay.
And so when you said this, I couldn't stop smiling.
Okay.
But I just feel like it's always something about when the Jesses get together.
Come on.
I ain't gonna even lie.
Come
to
on.
y'all. I know I
Step
be
heavy.
passing the Jess up, but it is what it is. We just get it done. We just execute. And
different kind of steppers. Different kind of steppers.
Because we are both so driven, we literally like feed off of one another in conversation, etc. And I just want to say, Christian, thank you, boo, because we that's literally
she was the plug.
Christian was the plug. She was our hoop for us to get connected. And I just feel so excited about that because I have been around so many people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The quantity was abundant, but it wasn't enough quality. It wasn't enough quality in my circle, I feel like. And because it was so many people that was draining me, so many people that was taking and not giving, it was difficult, to really grow in the direction that I needed to, or know, how was I growing, or was I even growing at all? And I just hate that because I think I wasted a lot of time. I wasted some years, I wasted some money, I wasted some energy talking to people, dealing with people, and letting people in that didn't mean me no good. And so when I say the push through season has been real in my journey, because it's been just a journey in real life, and to hear the things that you have pushed through on, and to know the things you have pushed through on, it's just a blessing to see you thrive in the way you are, living in your purpose, and you are being fulfilled in ways that you didn't think you could.
Right.
Because, like you say, we chase that degree, we chase that dream job, we chase getting them houses, we chase getting them cars, we chase
chasing the men.
Man, come on.
Come talk.
Come on.
Ooh, Lord, help us. Thank you.
You chasing them men, or you chasing that woman, and it's just, at the end of the day, they cannot fulfill you.
Right.
They're supposed to be an addition. They're supposed to be a blessing. But when it comes to that's all you can focus on is that person or what that person can do for you. I mean, what we doing? Like, what's the point in it? And I just thank God in real life for just giving me the mind to evolve, to know that it's more than these little exterior things, that look good, but it's not necessarily good for me. And so I just thank you for that. And right now, KERB, I know that I told you I was gonna play my music, so I'm gonna act right today. And I'm gonna play something. They were like, this girl be running my mouth. and I do because it's just talk, it's not me talking. But I'm going to play. Um, you know what? By Brent and Little Wayne. Girl, don't people don't really talk about. Here she goes. She be running her mouth. And so, okay, YouTube, TikTok. If y'all are not following Jess Marie, just tell them all the stuff that you have because it's TikTok. Uh,
Yeah, I
YouTube.
actually be on TikTok now. I just
Yeah,
went live. It's
so
my first time going
yeah.
live. So everything, all my platforms are Jess Marie. That's me. Jess Marie. That's me. Are on all of my social medias as well as my YouTube is Jessica Marie. Jessica Marie Martinez, I think. Something like
Yeah.
that.
And I just look, y'all know that they probably say this girl don't never start smiling. When I tell y'all I really be happy, generally happy in real life to see people doing well. Like when that girl told me she was getting ready to graduate, I literally kept calling her, "Did you graduate yet?" Because I know she said she was about to graduate. But I'm like, man, I want to know when this girl graduates because I want to do something for her because I was just so excited to see you set a goal and reach it.
Yeah.
And to me, like I said, of my word today, success is really like aiming for something and you getting that thing done. I don't care how long it took you. I
Yeah.
don't care what
Yeah.
resource you didn't have to make it happen. But the fact that you got out there, you set a goal, and you got that thing done, regardless of whatever you had going on, whatever obstacles you had to get over, you got that thing done. And I just want to say I'm proud of you,
Thank
and you
you.
need to just keep on doing the thing and then God lead your path because it's not easy.
For sure.
It's not easy to trust yourself because you have to believe that you can do these things. You have to have faith first that you
Right.
can execute.
Yeah.
You have to see it first. If you can't see it first, then ain't nothing gonna happen no way.
Yeah.
And I just feel like watching you do those things, it was exciting to me, and I was happy for
Oh,
you.
praise the Lord. I think I need to go look at your message of the day. But for me, I think the biggest thing for me is like not comparing success, what success looks like to this world, to what success looks like biblically. So yeah, if
Right.
y'all follow me, y'all gonna go to church. Okay. And
Yeah.
I'm not even being, I don't go down your throat, but I've lived my life so long for the God of this world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That now everything I do has to glorify God. Like I was so loud when I was out here in sin. I was so loud. So I have to be loud for the Lord the same way that I've, been loud. And at the end of the day, for me, like I said, success for me is no longer accolades and degrees and all those things. Is how am I serving God's people? How am I honoring God and serving His people? That's success. So when we don't do what we're called to do, we're hindering other people that the Lord we're supposed to be crossing paths with people, being the light as we're called to be the salt, be the light. And when we're not being that, when we're hiding ourselves and we feel like we're not capable or able, then other people are delayed because of us. And that's not successful at all. That's for sure.
And I love that you said that because a lot of times we do base what we saw somebody else do that looks like success. And yeah, they did accomplish something, but were they really successful in something or were they just doing something just to show that they got something done? And I feel like I'm excited to know that I'm not the only one feeling like that because my son had challenged me to go live every day.
Okay.
And at first I was like, I guess I could because he said, you go live on Monday, mama. Then you go live on Thursday. Then you go live on Saturday. He said, what about the other days? And I'm kind of like, you're right. What about the other days? And so you sit there and you have these plans and you have these goals that you want to reach, but you already have what you need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that listening to my child, like they said about being out of the mouth of babes, out of the mouth of children, they gonna tell you the truth. And that's why sometimes you want to smack them when they out here, snitching on you and having the people in your business. But at the end of the day, children know the truth. And that's why a lot of times people say children and animals, they know. They know when somebody is a good person, when somebody is a bad person, when somebody means you well, and when they, trying to help you and trying to hurt you. And so it's important to be as a child, because that's what it says.
That's what the Bible says. Yeah, that's what the Bible
You have
says.
to be paying attention. You have to like let your feelings be known. happy, sad, mad. All of them have a purpose. It's just you can't live in them.
Yeah.
You can't live in none of it all the time. You have to be able to balance it, and you have to be able to, trust the process and know that you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. And so I just want to say, like, it's hard sometimes to feel like, man, what I'm gonna say, what I got to say, and then it literally comes to me. And I tell people like I have to journal every day. That's where I get most of my ideas. And me going live more, it made me see, okay, I do have something to say. I got something to say on this day. I got something to say on this day too. So it's like, why not say something every day?
Yeah.
And one of my favorite motivation speakers is Eric Thomas, and he always say, "Man, you just got to do it."
Mm-hmm.
He say it's not easy. He say nothing's gonna be easy. He say, but the more you do it, it's a routine, so you don't even have to think about it. And that's the truth. I don't even have to think about it. Get up, go work out, do my devotionals and stuff, and get myself focused for the day, have my plan for the day, and then I just get to it. But at first, I just feel like, oh, what I'm supposed to be doing today, what I'm gonna do. But when you have that routine and when you focus, it's can't nobody mess it up.
Yeah.
It's on you. You the one that messed it up, nobody else.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think, like I said, most of the things that you'll hear me talk about, I'm gonna reference my favorite book. And a lot of times the reason why we feel like we're not equipped is because we don't have that childlike faith.
mhm.
And so when you think about your child, I say this all the time. If you ever want to know what childlike faith looks like you can put my child's picture there, right?
Yeah.
Because when he comes to me, he'll say, "Mama, can I have this or can I do this?" And I say, "Wait, give me a minute."
Mhm.
That's she didn't tell me no.
Yeah.
So in a day or however long, he's coming back again.
Yeah.
And the Bible says to keep asking God. When we want something, to keep asking, like we praying without ceasing. We're asking God continuously because that's our Father. So if you want to keep asking, and so that reminds me of my child. He will ask and ask, and he will not let off the gas with it, right? And he has faith that no matter how much I'm making her mad, eventually she's gonna push through and give it to me. You know what I mean? Like there's a story in the Bible actually where this lady was just kept on bothering this man, right? And he ended up saying, "Man, just give her what she wants,"
Right.
because she keep on just give her what she wants. So I feel like as we get older, the point of what I was saying was as we get older, because we've been through so much and people disappoint us so much, we feel like I don't know if I'm able, if I'm worthy, if I'm capable, or
Right.
I tried that, it didn't work out, so it's just a failure for me. But we don't have childlike faith. Like we're not believing that, what, let me just try a different way.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Let me just try a different way. Let me be persistent in this thing and it's going to come through. But the main thing for me is when I really started finding out my identity in Christ, like really knowing who I was, like knowing that he is a good father, because I didn't have a good father.
Right.
That didn't resonate with me. It took me a long time to really get that. But when it really started hitting me, I would literally look at my son. He's 14. He knows he can ask me for anything. My mama's going to do it. Because even if she told me no right now, if I spin the block on her and ask her again, she's going to eventually give it to me. And why would I not? If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're taking care of your business, I don't have many problems out of him, why not? Unless it's something extreme, which is rare. But that's our problem, like in life, is that we do not have that childlike faith. We've been tainted by so many things that we've been through, like you said, choosing, being in situations too long or going the wrong route and having to be, turned around, and we're exhausted of life. Like we're exhausted in paying bills, we're exhausted in being grown-ups, we're exhausted in life. And so when we don't, start seeing the fruit of the things we're doing, that childlike faith starts to shed off of us, and we really are disappointed in life and so many things. Like literally what I'm saying, at my job, they cut me like $8,000 in pay.
Wow.
And so realizing what they're doing now, in the next 6 months when we get evaluations again, it's likely that it's going to happen again. I've been on this job 13 years.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. So why all of a sudden now?
Right.
But the thing is,
and the fifth thing, I should be getting a raise.
that's right. Don't cut me. I should be getting a raise. But the thing is this, the Bible says, I got rained on today, y'all. Rained on bad, real bad. But, I had to go get my hair freshened up because I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Anyway, the Bible says that it rains on the just and the unjust, right? But the difference is the promise to the believer is that all things will work together for your good because you love God and you're called according to his purpose. So when you know that and you're like, I'm just in a season that it doesn't look good, it doesn't feel good, I don't know what money looks like or a relationship or whatever it is, we start to weigh down. We don't have that faith that the Lord is going to come through for us, like he said, because of what it looks like. But when we get back to childlike faith, like our children, then you know that this is just a season, you know, and the Lord is going to bring me out of it. He's going to use this thing for my good. And it being April is actually it's the biblical New Year. So this is the time to push through. This is the time for breakthrough. It's the time to plant the seeds of the things that you want to see start growing. If all you've been seeing is bad things, I had to start saying, well, am I planting something bad? Let me look at me. Am I doing something I'm not supposed to be doing? Am I getting the fruit of that? And so adjusting where I can adjust and leaving it like, you know what? I just want to live a life where daily I'm solely dependent on God. And that takes the burden off of me because I say, listen, even when my funds are looking funny, I'm still gonna slide and get me some food. I'm still gonna slide it, go through the drive-through, and I'm gonna get the meal because I know that he's gonna figure it out, right? Like I'm not gonna be around here just piss poor in my feelings. Like, listen, the Bible say if he dressed the lilies and everything else, if he take care of everything else, how much more does he love you? How much more will he take care of you? So that's where I am on push through. I don't care what's going on. Where are we going to eat? Where are we going to eat? Where's the food? I don't want to be glutton. I'm trying to lose a little weight. I ain't trying to be glutton no more, you know. Like, but you know, it is what it is. Like at the end of the day, he must really want something. At the end of the day, we really truly have to push through because, you know, a lot of people are not, you know, in my situation at my job, when they first started doing this 2 years ago, some people were ending their lives because their pay had been cut so significantly. You know, like people were being cut by 20,000. By the grace of God, over time, we've got some of that money back, but those people are no longer here. And they didn't get to see that. But that just goes to show the people that don't live in faith. You know what I mean? Like if I got to go back and live with my mama, and I ain't never lived with my mama. You know, if I have to go live with my mom or whatever it is to the extreme, it's just gonna have to be done. But it ain't gotta be done today.
Come on.
You know what I mean? So where are we gonna eat today? As of now, my issue is Mexican or pizza. Like that's it. That's it. What's happening now?
It's so real that you say that, especially saying that people take their lives because of monetary, temporary things. Because we all have things that we want and we all have things that we need. But it's crazy that people don't understand just because I'm making less right now, that don't mean I can't make it. Or just because I ain't making nothing right now, because think about all the recessions that the world has had, all of the times when people are, oh, well, this is going to happen. We ain't going to have no water. We ain't going to have this, we ain't going to have that. But yet and still, we out here thriving, eating. People still out here obese.
You ain't missed a meal. You can afford to, or you haven't. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I ain't slim and trim now.
But I look at some people and I think about, and we can't judge. And I'm learning that even though we don't feel like we judging unconsciously, it is judgment. Because if you say something like, oh man, I got it worse than them, what they complaining about? Why does that matter? Everybody have their cross to bear. Yours might be, you know, you want more money in your bank account. Theirs might be they fighting an internal sickness that you don't even know about. You know what I'm saying? Or theirs might be they waiting on their child to come on. They ain't heard from their child. So it's so many things, so many obstacles, and so many hardships that people endure. And it's just so important to treat people accordingly. And that's why I try to tell my kids. Just because somebody is treating you bad, even though, of course, you don't want to get treated bad, nobody can. You don't want to be talked to bad. But what do it help you lashing back out at them? What did you accomplish? Because at the end of the day, either they're going to get madder, it can turn into a fight, or just ignore them and go on about your day. And they say, you always say that. I say, well, because I'm ignoring somebody, I could care less. And sometimes I feel like it's because when I was a police officer, we was like groomed to not be offended because you know you can't let your emotions get the best of you, of course, because you're holding a gun and all this shit.
So wait a minute.
I've always been like that. I've always been nonchalant. So to me, it's just been like another day.
Yeah.
Somebody mad at me, that's what's up.
Yeah, I need to get your
Take it up
nephew.
with your mama, baby, not me.
I need to get your nephew on the line. He slapped somebody in his mouth today. I mean, this week because they called me a B.
Oh,
I said, son, we done had this conversation, but he said, well, he called me the B first, but it was when he called you the B.
Right.
And so I said, okay, MIB.
Right.
He said, no. He said, but then he got in my face and then I slapped him in the mouth. I said, well, why did you slap him in the mouth? Because I like, why didn't you why didn't you punch him? He said, I slapped him in his dirty mouth like his mama should have.
Oh, I know that's right.
I said, I said, get out of my room. I said, get out of my room. Girl, I laughed so hard. I couldn't even be too mad until that principal called me. I said, ma'am, I'm aware.
Right.
I'm aware.
So sorry. Yeah. I hate
that happened. But he should watch his dirty mouth.
Most definitely watch his mouth. And
not condoning.
Of course, I've had this situation with both them kids. And it's one of those things. And the real thing was somebody called me fat. And she said, and I'm like, Lavelle,
am I?
I'm not fat, bitch. Y'all ain't worried about this. It don't matter. And I told my mama work out every day. I said, that ain't even their business.
She's trying to defend your honor.
My baby say, what you not gonna do is play with that one.
That's funny.
It's just, you have those talks with your kids, and at the end of the day, they gonna do whatever you say because they have the faith in you that they know that they can depend on you, and they know you don't mean them no harm.
Yeah.
And I've been doing Faithful Fridays on Fridays now, and I feel like those words, sometimes we just say stuff, but there is real action behind it. Like you said, your child have faith in you that whatever you say is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have it right there at that moment, they know you gonna execute. You gonna make sure you get that thing done for them. And like you said, that's the mindset we have to have on our journey because God has everything for us. He can fulfill all our needs. We just have to ask. And then most of the time we don't even ask for it. He just do it anyway. So it's just knowing that things are gonna be taken care of regardless. However we look at it, however we feeling, we gonna get them things done.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really, man, look, you said a whole mouthful. I know this word. It makes me excited. Okay, all right, KRB, we're gonna take another break here, and I'm going to play Stevie Wonder, like.
People say, play that music, you're running your mouth.
Okay.
I thought I had my phone on.
So YouTube, y'all tap in. Tell us what y'all got on y'all mind. What's going on? What's new? TikTok, show us some love. Tell us what's going on in y'all day. What is this Saturday? Oh, y'all getting rained on? Let's go tell. Who else is getting rained on?
And it done got cold too.
Who is getting rained on? You said it got cold? Oh, yeah, you just said it got cold. Look, y'all, when I tell y'all, I'm doing my best to stay on them sheets, not in them streets. There's a real thing in real time.
Ooh, the Lord is changing the people.
And look, and so this is the thing though, when I used to be outside, seriously, I was usually working. Like if I was out late, like past 8, 9 o'clock, 9 times out of 10, I was somewhere getting to the money because I be feeling like going to the club and stuff would be too expensive.
Oh yeah.
I never could get with it because I'm like, man, I do not have time for that. You gotta pay with. Now it's like somebody told me they pay $40 for parking, $40 to get in, and then you want me to, if you're gonna drink, the drinks ain't even good. I don't have time for that. That's $100. Yeah. That's $100 for one night that you probably ain't gonna stay somewhere that long. And so it's just looking at things in that way. We waste so much money, so much time just doing stuff that don't mean nothing, that's meaningless, or don't benefit us or our walk or anything we're trying to accomplish. Like, what purpose did this serve at the end of the day? And after I really start taking my crafts more seriously, I most definitely stopped doing a lot of stuff because it's taking up too much of my time.
Mm-hmm.
And we only got 24 hours. So in those 24 hours, I got to make sure I'm executing to get to the money or getting into a situation where I can get to the money. because the money got to be got. I got to go get it and come back with it at all times. I tell people I try to have an income per child. So
I know that's right. I need 3 of them.
Look, that part.
My son is wrapping up HVAC school, so I said I'm letting you make it. He finishes this month, so.
Oh, that's exciting! Round of applause for that.
I said, Lord, come on with it. Y'all got. If it ain't that, then it has to be the military because we're gonna need to do something productive around here. We ain't raising no bums.
Man, look, I was literally just saying it to a friend of mine earlier today. They got to do something. Neville, y'all shout out to my baby. She graduated from high school early. She finished in October because she was homeschooled. And now she goes to cosmetology school.
Oh, nice.
She started cosmetology school. And so most of her peers still haven't graduated yet because they don't graduate till May. So it's just, I told her, I said, you have to look at things in a wider scope. I say, you looking at it like you doing all this stuff, because now she working and going to school. I say, but y'all want to be grown. This is grown.
Right.
This is what happens. You have to do multiple things all the time and figure out what you're going to stop doing, because you can't stop this.
Yeah.
Because you got to make some money and you got to finish so you get your license, or a degree or whatever it is you want to do next. Because nobody going to give nothing to you. Nothing is for free.
Right.
And it's just, you try to show them the balance and you try to help them understand different things, but it's not always easy. And none of us are perfect, of course. So I just be feeling like, man, nobody can't be sitting around not doing nothing, like you said, no bums. Even the baby, he even started taking Pamela's. Like, baby, we got to do something. We can't be sitting around watching YouTube and all that, and that's all we're doing all day. So it's just making sure that they know that we got to be purposeful as well.
Yeah.
It's our job to show them the right thing to do. And when we don't, we the ones that's held accountable. Nobody ain't fussing at nobody else. They looking for you. So if your kid is trifling, tell them what's going on.
Where's the mom?
What did you do wrong? And why did you do this? And so it's just one of those things. Okay, KERB, thank you once again for giving me an opportunity to talk on this amazing platform. Like I always tell y'all on TikTok and YouTube, if you have not chimed in on KERB online radio broadcasting, you are missing out on amazing DJs, other talk shows. It's not just Jess on there talking, it's other people on there talking and playing really good music. They have all types of genres, country music, rock, etc. Like you name it, they got it on there, okay? And so I just always like to do it because people need to know.
Where do they find it at? Where is it at?
It is, if you're in Houston, on the radio, it's 99.9.
Okay.
But it's an online radio broadcast as well, so you can go to the link KERB Online Live.
Okay.
And so, and I be saying it fast sometimes. Mom said, you talk so fast sometimes. I'm like, my bad. So y'all be trying to slow it down.
Yeah.
Just like my, when I say my business is Impressive Results by Jess LLC. So we talk about, what did she say? Impressive Results by Jess.
Yeah, we have to, we listen fast. We hear, like we speak fast, but the people are like, wait, I didn't understand. It sounds, yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So shout out to Tinted Elite. This is a nice embroidery shirt with my logo, Jess Talks. Y'all, she is on Etsy. She has all kinds of shirts and clothing, hoodies, etc. She customizes things. Let her brand you. Let her brand you.
That's nice. I like that.
She has they do pressing and embroidery, and so tap in, check out, and that's the name on TikTok, Instagram, and on the Etsy website, because she has the store on Etsy. So look, y'all, I tell people, if you want me to promote your business, let me know. Email me at Jessica Advisor, JESSICA at Impressive IMPRESSIVE results RESULTS by DY JESS.com. You remember we had to do that? Yeah, so we went to the podcast summit, and then people told me to spell out that email. And I had to do that like 3 times. Y'all, I almost lost my mind. I said, this is a long email to spell out.
Listen, I got a QR code. Yeah, that's funny. I just reposted that video this week.
And it was just funny because when you posted that, that's the first thing I thought about, me spelling out that dang on email.
I thought about he still was trying to ask me, and I said I don't have anything to say.
Right.
And he said, "Wait a minute, you a pro at this."
Real
Amen.
talk.
Amen.
Girls was out there came out smooth, like she had been practicing the whole day, whole time. It was straight off the dome. Each time, so you know. All right, so look, y'all. I have been having so much fun, and I want to ask Jess another question because when I tell y'all, she really acting modest right now, y'all, and I'm like, look at this girl. But she has so much information and so much knowledge just about things in life because she has really lived life in multiple ways, and I feel like that's important because we have to be well rounded. Nobody should just be book smart. Nobody should just be street smart. Nobody should just be, of course, you want to be in the word, you want to be spiritual, you have to have a walk. But at the end of the day, if you don't know how to balance this stuff out, you will be taken advantage of, you'll be manipulated, and that'll mess up your journey more than anything because you don't have all of the tools, you don't have to use your tools. You got to know how to use the tools that you have. And so, can you give us an example of a push through moment that you had to listen to yourself and figure out how to break through those things. Because it's so many things that you have to go through and work through, and it's like, okay, if I would have just did this, or moving forward, I need to do this, and I won't have these situations come again.
I'll say maybe. Let me see if I could. What's a good example? So we've been talking about, I don't want to talk about relationships.
No,
That's
no,
my
no,
that's
yeah.
no. I'm just saying that's been my thing. Like I don't want to talk about relationships because everybody thinks they're a relationship expert, right?
Right.
So one of my coaches recently said, "Are you healed from that situation? Did you go to therapy? Did you go to God? Did you do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good with it, right?"
Yeah.
And now he's like, then you should definitely talk about certain things, not to talk about the people necessarily, but
Right,
but the
right, right.
lessons that you learned, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I'll say that I began to learn about myself, like through this whole process, was to reflect back on myself,
Come on.
right? And so I think for me, the pushing through was saying, hold yourself accountable for these things, but also understand that you human, right? And when you don't have the guidance that you need, we're just out here winging it pretty much, right? When you don't see the best parent, example, mother, father example, or a man loving a wife like he's supposed to, a woman taking care of house like she's supposed to, you don't see any of that, right? So for me, I think the pushing through on forgiving myself on what I didn't know then, right? And not, I'm not going to say being fully equipped, but not accepting what I was already equipped with. So maybe like unworthy, feeling unworthy. And one of the things I talked about with one of my other sisters was that a lot of people say go to therapy, and a lot of us browns and blacks don't really believe in that, right? But for me, when I chose to go to therapy, I chose somebody that was biblically grounded. So I didn't want just a regular therapist because when I did go initially, it was feelings and this and this, and it just felt like I'm just in here giving you sob stories or whatever. Like there's no real like a venting. Yeah, I can do that with my homegirl. Like I don't. This is not gonna work. So when I tried it again and actually got with a biblically grounded uh, therapist, he started to help me see things in a different way. He started to help me see me in a different way. And so pushing through on like really seeing me the way God see me. Right. And we have started a Bible study on Thursday night. It's called Circle of Hope Women's Bible Study, but it's for youth girls and women, right? And so one of the things we started with there is knowing your identity in Christ. And so a lot of times we become wives way too soon. We become mothers way too soon. We're not even the best friend that we can be, right? Or even daughters. We're not the best who we can be because we don't know what our identity is. We just see us the way the world sees us. You're a failure, you're a teen mom, you're this, whatever those things are. We wear those things as identity. So when I really started getting in my word and taking my walk seriously and really seeing who who I am in Christ, and
Right.
like I said earlier, accepting that relationship, it's like the Bible says the veil is lifted off your
Come
eyes,
on.
right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like there's nothing I can't do. People say, "Oh, there's a glass ceiling and this and that." There is none of that, right?
Come on.
There is none of that. And so now, I believe that the reason I'm being slowed down is just that I can take in what it is, what my next step should be, instead of
Yeah.
just being like, I'm gonna jump out and do this
Mhm.
and jump out and do all these different things. Because a lot of things you can do, you can do a lot of good things, but
Yeah.
are they fruitful? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think for me, like really pushing through, seeing me, and not from my eyes. I don't really know how to explain it, but seeing it from a whole different like a whole nother perspective on who I really am.
Oh, yeah.
And so I tell my kids this. I say, when you're walking with Christ, you're confident, you're not cocky. But people
Come
can get
on.
that mixed up. They like,
Yeah.
oh, no, I'm not cocky. I'm confident in who God says I am, right?
Mhm.
So the Bible tells us to walk, to be bold and to be courageous. And when you walk that way and your light starts to shine, some people may say, oh, she thinks she out there. No, that's not the thing, because the things I do is to glorify God, right? It's not to glorify me. But before, that's how life seemed to be. So like really just pushing through those limits, like understanding there are no limits. There really are no limits. And it's not like a hustler's mindset anymore. I think a lot of us, like when we're in the world, it's like hustle. I can go make a whole bunch of money. I can go do whatever I want. I can show up in whatever car and switch my boyfriend if I want, all these different things. But when a lot of people that have been called to do something greater, we go through a season of like, what, this is it, this is life. I can't, what they say, I'm gonna rob Peter to pay Paul. I seen somebody say online, I know ain't nobody try to rob no Paul. If you know, ain't nobody, was it Peter? No, it's Peter. I know ain't nobody rob Peter. So yeah, anyway, saying that, like really just pushing through to say, like, despite everything that's going on, who am I? Who am I? Like taking everything off, like, God, who do you say I am? Right. So I think that's been one of my biggest push throughs. But now for me, I want to choose my words right, but I'm in a very, very uncomfortable season because I am sacrificing not making my son pay bills, even though he's 20, because he's finishing HVAC school. You know what I mean? My daughter, she limited on, he's 21, she's 20. And I'm allowing him the same time I allow her to try some different things in school, right? So those are the sacrifices that I have to take. But I'm also, the Bible says to be obedient. He want obedience rather than sacrifice. We're called to raise up our children, right? Whether we knew what that looked like and nobody did it for us, and even if we don't all the way know, we're called to raise them up in the way that we want them to go, meaning sound mind, young children, young men and women of God, right? And so right now, that's my goal. Is like, even though it looks scary. I could joke about it all day, but it looks really scary because when somebody's playing in your pockets, and you're used to living a certain way, and it's not even about living above your means. You're used to living a certain way, and then these things start happening. Instead of me going in my mind saying, okay, well, I just have to cut this, and this. I start saying, have you taken that to God first? Have you even sat with what He wants you to do? And so I think, like, just pushing past my own sight, my own vision, the way that I see things, and really saying, I see, I can do it however I want. My mentality is, I go hustle, I go get me another job. I'm not above going to work somewhere else, right? But does that start to diminish what I'm supposed to be doing? Because I recognize the more jobs I was bartending, I was working at a radio station, I'm doing all the things, working at the post office, doing all the things, and I'm cool, right? Like, I thought I was cool, going out, hanging out, do all the things, but spread thin, not doing anything that was purposeful, not anything that was fruitful, not anything that was serving anybody else, not glorifying God, not pouring into somebody else, not lifting up my brothers and sisters in Christ. Like, what was I doing? I was doing nothing. So I think really the pushing through of, even though this is uncomfortable, I'm going to sit right here until God tells me to move. So I would say, if I had to sum it up, pushing through and doing things God's way versus my way. Because right now in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna go get it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's not,
your norm.
that's my norm. I've been doing that since I was 15, 16 years old. Right. Because I didn't have my parents. I was raised by my grandmother. So I'm like, been grinding since I was 15.
Yeah.
Right. But
All
now
my life.
all my life I had to fight. You hear me? But now it's just like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna keep going in circles, we're gonna keep picking the wrong spouse, we're gonna keep over and over and over, and then your kids are really watching you, and by by the grace of God, they're seeing you in a better position than what you were before. But like, really instilling that in them, that there is no limits. There is no limits. When you're following God, it's like, what this world can give you, it dissipates. If you really understand, the more money you bring in, you be like, I just had an extra check. I just had an extra 1,000. What happened? Wait a minute. The bills ate it up. But it's like, when you start doing it God's way, it's sustainable. I think about the story in the Bible where the lady said all she had was a little bit of oil, and he told her to go collect the jars. He said, go collect jars from other people, and she was supposed to be filling those vases, whatever it was, with oil, and the more she filled it, she was able to sell it, and said, like, it's like it never ran dry. But we don't, in the world, we like, what, this don't even make sense. But when you get in their word, you're like, it don't have to make sense. My life don't make sense. You know what I mean? And in all honesty, I'm like, wait, how did I even, when I look back? But I think that's really the difference of pushing through and shining your light in this world the way that we're called to, and coming out amongst the crowd. The Bible says, come out from amongst them. You've been chosen. You've been calling for something great. You're in the world, but you're not of it. So you need to look accordingly. You need to act accordingly. And sometimes it doesn't feel comfortable, but I want a maintainable, sustainable life. I don't want something that I have to wonder if it's going to be gone next week, or if I'm going to lose it, or if somebody's going to walk out on me or whatever. Like, I just, like, the only person that ever has been solid in my life is God. So that's where I'm at now. It's like, you the only one ain't never left me. You know what I mean? Like, these children, they be flipping out sometimes, right? So, even that, that's a whole testament in itself. Everything we have in this world is like not ours. It's not like these kids are God's and everything. So when I'm having a problem with anybody, I'm to my kids, my mama, people at work, I'm finna go tell God on you. And it ain't even like I want him to do something. I'm going to vent, like, this is what's going on. And I got to listen, because if not, if I handle it my way, listen.
I tell them every day, baby, in my mind, I'm used to knocking all this stuff off. Sometimes that be my
all of it. You hear me? All of it.
But you can't do that.
Yeah. So the message was, you can, but there are some consequences. So the message is to push through on not wanting us to do it my way, doing it God's way. And it looks like, what does that even look like? You know what I mean? But when you don't even know, like, some people are like, what is even this God of the Bible? That, like, they don't know. When you call out to God, He will make Himself known to you, and everything you need to do from there, He'll start showing you if that's what you really want, and you need to link yourself with other people that look like that. When I started doing that, people just start shedding left and right. I'm like, wait a minute, I ain't got no friends. I don't have nothing. I'll be at the restaurant by myself, just one deep, but I have a peaceful life. Even in the midst of the storm and everything that's going on, I have a peaceful life, because this is how I choose to do my life now.
A peace of mind is everything. And I tell people, that was Truthful Thursday, peace of mind. And it's so... people always say, how do you come up with your word day? And I realize, y'all, I do devotionals every day. I listen to motivational speeches every day. Like, when I'm working out, that's what I'm listening to. I'm listening to Eric Thomas and Stephen Furtick, I call him my online pastor. So it's just listening to those things when I'm working out. I'm constantly motivating my mind. I'm constantly, like, grooming myself to not accept anything but positive energy. And I feel like when I'm starting my day off that way, I'm making a decision. You know what I'm saying? Because either you make a choice or you left with having to deal with something. But when you make the choice, you can decide, okay, this is going to be a good day. You can decide, man, I'm not letting nobody, mess up the vibe. You know what I'm saying? I'm not letting nobody stop me from getting what I need to get done. Even your kids. And I tell them, like, sometimes them kids, I just have to leave them. And I do. I have to leave them, go work out, get my mind back together because I'm not going to let you mess up my routine, get me off track, and have my energy thrown off because my purpose, for whatever reason, is to just talk to y'all right now. It's just to get on here and give y'all what he gives me. I'm not perfect by no means. There's so many things I need to work on and get better with. But at the end of the day, every day I'm working on something else to improve. Like every day I want to improve on something. I had a principal I used to be under years ago. He would tell the kids every day on the intercom, Kaizen, getting better every day. Kaizen. And I'm just kind of like, I like that. But that's a real thing. Every day you have to improve.
Yeah.
A lot of speakers will say, man, nobody's your competition. The person you were yesterday, that's the competition. Did I do better than Jessica yesterday? Did I do better than Jessica last week? And it's like you said, we sometimes let people break us down in so many ways till we believe that.
Yeah.
Oh man, but they say I'll be lying. I guess I'm a liar. You know what I'm saying? Well, he said I'd have gained a little weight. I guess I'm fat now. You know, it's just all of those things. And I'm not necessarily saying that is me, but I know people that have went through so many things. And I've always been a person where if you say something to me, 9 times out of 10, I'm just gonna shoot one back at you real quick and go about my business. But what I learned is I'm giving them too much energy doing that.
Yeah.
So now I don't even do that. I let them, whatever they on, I let them be on it. And they can be wrong about me. They can be telling so many lies about me. But what I'm learning is I don't have time for it. I don't even have the time to try to stand up for myself against somebody that's being foolish. Because when you're arguing with a fool, you become a fool.
You know what your friend Christian told me the other day? So I haven't talked about this much publicly, but I've been walking in purity for 2.5 years, right? And so she said, the enemy know he can't get you with that anymore, right? But he can get you with a good fight. I said, what do you mean? So we were on social media the other day, and there was a guy that posted or whatever about, Bible stuff or whatever. And one thing I had to tell myself, first of all, why did you go argue with this person? Because you can't get your wife in order. You can't get your house in order, but you're going to get online and try to tell other women how to get in order. So before I went to go see that and really look in, because I know this person from back in the day, but saying all that, whatever he said, I combated it. Yeah. Right. And it wasn't in a way that it was like, you're wrong. I'm just saying, if we're going to be talking Bible, I'm open for you to teach me, right? Teach me. If I'm wrong about it, I ask the Lord, like, show me if I'm wrong, right? Sure. Matters all that he posted whatever he posted, and I said something back. Well, then Christian came a couple hours later, and she said, our relationship with God is personal, right? Now, I'm not saying we can live however we want, because when we understand that we can't live like the world lives, we can't do what the world does anymore, then that's when your life starts lining up, when you start really seeing. Yeah. But whatever it was he tried to say, that wasn't so, whatever I said. And Christian was like, no, your relationship with God very much is personal, right? And so they kind of went back and forth. I didn't see the exchange, but the next day she said, you know what it looked like to argue with a fool? And I said, what you mean? So she started saying, she said, one thing I realized is that you can walk like the Lord can't, the enemy can't get you in that area with me anymore, because you've accomplished that, you've conquered that. Yeah. But as soon as somebody put a key in your back, or like try to what's the word you want to use? Like provoke you, you're going to give them a good fight, right? Because that's in your nature. So now guess what? You so busy over here back and forth for an hour with this person, and you supposed to be over here recording content, or you were supposed to be doing this, or you're supposed to be doing that. So that's how the enemy gets you subtly. He gets you off track. Because if I can't get you this way, I'm just going to delay you. And then by the time you're done over here, now I'm tired. I'm just going to give me a little snack, get in the bed, rub my feet together. I'm going to sleep. And I'm going to do the content tomorrow, or whatever the case may be. But when she told me that, it really hit me, because it's true. That's true with everything in this world. When you have it in your mind and you wake up, you're like, I'm going to do this today. And things don't go the way they're supposed to, and you start getting off track, then what? And I said, why is it that we can show, I said this last week, why is it that we can show up for somebody else and keep a commitment.
Yeah.
You told me to be here today at 6. I made that commitment to you, right? But if I said I'm going to the gym at 6, something I got rained on outside, right? I could say my day is ruined. I'm not going to no gym. I'm about to give me a snack and I'm getting in the bed. I won't keep that promise to me, but I'll keep it to you. So what makes you more priority over me?
Right.
I'm saying it to myself, like just the same way that I prioritize what my promises to other people, I have to prioritize my promise to myself. So whatever that goal is, whether it's I'm going to work on content or I'm going to work on my body or I'm going to work on my spiritual journey, whatever it is, we have to keep that promise to ourselves first and foremost. We making promises to kids and then we running ragged, looking crazy by the head because we're running kids around and all. You know what I mean? Yes. But that when it comes down to it, like putting yourself first, basically, I know we kind of got off topic, but putting yourself first, it flows, right? Putting yourself first is not selfish. No. It's required. You know, after God, you have to put yourself first because you can't even do what you're supposed to do for other people until you take care of yourself. Yeah. So anyway, we'll drop that right there.
Our sessions we were going through for season 5, my co-host and I were speaking on giving people the overflow and not what's in your cup.
Right.
Because what's in your cup is supposed to be for you. The overflow is what you can help with others.
Right.
And so
that's
because
biblical.
I'm naturally a giver, I have really been
depleting
the stuff in the cup and talking about, baby, what you gonna have for you? And I can say that and I can understand and take accountability and responsibility. I was helping someone build their YouTube channel and all those things. And of course, y'all know I'm always going to get on here, post up to do something. But at the end of the day, what I noticed was I was putting so much energy into their things that I was not doing to my full potential for my own stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like after so long and somebody's not reciprocating, you know, the energy that you give them, you have to make a decision. Okay, do I continue this and possibly drain myself, or do I let them do whatever they're gonna do with theirs because they're not even showing that they're really interested? And let me focus on mine. And when I did that, that's how I was able to get to my 500 subscribers. And I'm like, okay, Jess, I see it.
Yeah, that's me. I gotta get on my stuff
because I've never paid for ads, like none of those kind of things. I've just always done my own, and my assistant helped me do it. And it's just kind of like focusing on the plan and not the move. And that has really been a big thing for me. And so I just appreciate you for being here with us today, giving us your time, giving us your knowledge, giving us a good word, because you always have a good word, and I appreciate that for you. And so if you could tell the people one thing, what would you say to leave them with for today?
I'll just say the time is now. We can't delay anymore. Whatever it was that you were called to do, the time is now. So whatever you feel like you need to do to get to that, it's now. And no more waiting. So whether it's content, whatever it is, halfway, half done with your phone, whatever it is, the time is now. Whatever it is that you're called to do.
All right. And so y'all, as usual, when you look good, you feel good. It's Jason Just Talks. Love on the people that love on you and the ones that don't, say a prayer for them and I know what you do about it. But I want y'all to continue pushing through, doing what y'all need to. And next week, we're going to be on season 6. And that'll be episode 47. Y'all, girls, you get up there.
Come on now.
Okay, so for this Jason Just Talks, love y'all, be blessed, and keep it going. Jess Marie on the ones and twos.
Yeah, silly.